My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today I've got an absolutely disgustingly strong Strand Warlock build. Make our Threadlings go absolutely supercharged. We are going to be featuring Feltwinter's Helm, and we're going to be also featuring a few Strand aspects of fragments to make our Threadlings go crazy. Getting woven mail on the fly from the seasonal artifact pack, and like I said, we're going to finish, deploy our rift or throw our Threadling grenade to get absolutely massive increase on our Threadlings, which also sever by the way, so stay with me, this build is disgusting. We'll start off with the Feltwinter's Helm, powered melee final blows and finishers, create a burst of energy that weakens nearby targets, finishes and final blows against more powerful targets, increase the radius and the burst length of the weakening effect. You get a 30% damage increase, weakening effect in that radius, so if you get a finisher or a melee kill, you'll see there that Carl's glistening like a purple colour. He's got a 30% debuff on him, which is an absolutely massive damage increase, which we're going to use later on in the video to our advantage big time with some really strong weapons, like massive damage weapons, and also our Threadlings, which is what this video is all about. You'll also notice Carl is also severed, which we will go into as well. Now, Feltwinter's Helm, for me, is quite an underrated exotic. I mean, just getting a 30% damage increase, and I really enjoy the style of the play that it promotes. Get up close, get a finisher, get a melee kill. Everything in that area is going to be debuffed by 30%, promoting quick, fast kills, like so. And it promotes being very aggressive. I love that. I just want to say you can also use Perpetual Destruction. This is something I've covered quite a lot. Rapid final blows with non-exotic rocket launchers, refund ammo and increase reload speed with your rocket launchers, something like Crown and Dual. This is not what the video is about. I just wanted to throw it in there because it is part of the build, sort of, because you could use a heavy rocket launcher after you've used your powered melee or finisher. Get all that extra damage on your rocket launcher 30%, and on top of that, with Perpetual Destruction, you are going to get ammo back as well, very, very consistently. Like I said, I've done lots of videos on this over the last couple of weeks. Just an option, but it's not what the video is fully about. What I really like to do with this build is, after using my finisher, deploy your rift via Weaver's Call, activate your class ability. This is going to deploy 3 Threadlings that perch and attack targets. So after you use your Feltwinter's Helm, you can also use your Threadling grenade as well as your Weaver's Call to get a bit of extra damage on your Threadling grenades, extra 30%. Now via Horde Shuttle, damaging unravel targets with a weapon, occasionally spawns a Threadling, but the boosted version, Threadlings sever targets that they damage, so your Weaver's Call and your Threadling grenades are going to sever targets, which is a 40% damage reduction up to 50% from the target that they hit. You've also got to shreds, dealing sustained damage to severed targets, unravels them, so we're going to unravel them all the time, and because our Threadlings unravel, we're going to create infinite woven mail hotspots, and in the boosted version, unraveling projectiles, deal increased damage. These deal further damage to severed targets. Again, all bonuses based around severing Threadlings. So basically, what you want to be doing is putting your Weaver's Call down or your grenade, one of them first, and then watching them Threadlings go attack the targets. That's going to sever the targets, and you're going to get that woven mail from the To Shreds seasonal artifact pack. And then once you've got your severing going, you're going to do extra damage with all your unraveling rounds, and you're literally a tank with your woven mail and a severing effect. You'll also notice that I'm actually shredding these enemies with a trace rifle, which we will go into as well. But one more time, get your Threadling grenades down. You've literally got infinite severing capabilities with your Threadlings with this build, and infinite woven mail. So you've literally got an absolute crap ton of survivability. 40 to 50% outgoing damage reduction from the severing, and a 40% damage reduction from woven mail. You are extremely, extremely tanky. What I want to do is get even more out of the severing effects. So the Unraveling Orbs boosted version, strand weapons deal increased damage to strand debuff targets. Obviously severing's debuffing, that's 5% damage increase, not massive. But when you pair it up with the harsh refraction, trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs, i.e. severing, matching the element type. You're going to do an extra 50% damage with legendary trace rifles, 55% with the Unraveling Orbs boost, something like Unsworn with Detonator Beam or any other role you've got to work absolutely perfectly. An extra 55% damage increase, plus your Felwinter's Helm going as well. It's absolutely nuts, this trace rifle. It just absolutely slaps these enemies. Even in GMs, it's like a hot knife through butter. You can literally see their health just going down. Even if you haven't got your Felwinters going, you can easily apply your melee for unraveling, and you can do extra damage like that as well. As well as the Weaver's Call, I really like to run Weavewalk. This will let you consume your melee basically, and you can run around invisible, and while you're invisible, you're also going to start applying perch Threadlings. They're going to start coming to you. You'll see them going invisible. These Threadlings are going to build up over time. These Threadlings again are all going to sever. On top of that, you've also got your Threadling Grenade and your Weaver's Call. So you've got so much severing and just loads and loads of little bits of extra damage. Now this fragment works particularly well with this build Thread of Finality, finish your final blows, create Threadlings. Obviously that's going to work nicely with your Felwinters. You're going to create a Threadling when you finish, and a Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel further and deal additional damage. So basically what you want to be doing is getting a finisher or a melee kill. You're going to spawn a Threadling. You're going to get extra damage on that Threadling via your Felwinters, 30% minimum, plus an extra bit of damage from this fragment as well. And once you've sort of got it all working together, the debuffing effect paired up with all the unraveling rounds, your harsh refraction going, everything like that. It's just an absolute joke. Look at the state of this. It's a joke. Look how fast you kill these enemies in this GM. It just, like I said, it's like a hot knife through butter. You've also got, again, and I keep banging on about it, loads and loads of damage reduction via your woven mail. You'll see in these clips I've pretty much got it up infinitely all of the time, plus all the unraveling extra damage. But this seasonal artifact perk, 2 Shreds, is excellent because your unraveling projectiles also deal increased damage. These deal further damage to severed targets. Like I said, the Threadlings are going to be severing, so you're going to do extra damage on top of your Felwinter's Helm finisher debuff as well. So if you look at this clip, you're going to see all my unraveling runs doing extra damage from the seasonal artifact perks and extra damage from the Felwinter's Helm. Just look at the state of that. It's absolutely gross. All of that green goo is just absolutely rinsing these enemies. And the Felwinter's Helm is just absolutely fantastic. Like I said, I absolutely love this. It will literally render enemies completely useless. It doesn't actually suppress, but it's almost like a suppression. It's like a disorientate effect. Look at the state of them. They don't know what to do. They just stood there. Excellent for you and your team. I've got another weapon or two to show you in a moment, but first I'll quickly skim over the aspects which we've touched on. So Weaver's Call, excellent. Weavewalk is also very good for survivability and getting extra Threadlings. Your Threadling Grenade, again, very, very good for this build. Your Arcane Needle also works great with all the seasonal artifact perks as this unravels as well. Now fragments, just for even more survivability, you're going to get Thread of Warding, picking up an Arbor Power. It's going to give you Woven Mail. Thread of Continuity, suspend, unravel and sever effects applied have an increased duration. Thread of Fidelity, finish your final blows, create Threadlings, which we've touched on. Really good for Felwinters, just a bit of extra damage on your Threadlings. And then on top of that, we are also going to be running Thread of Evolution. Your Threadlings travel a bit further and deal additional damage. There's all my mods and my seasonal artifact perks. I screenshotted that. I'll also leave a dim link and I'll be leaving a mobilytics link. There's my appearance customization, a couple of other weapons, Super Cluster with Surrounded, or other weapons with Surrounded. Shotguns are going to work really nicely with this build as well. Surrounded's quite a big damage increase. You've also got Dragon Cut Sickle, or some other swords with Surrounded, something like the Abyssal Edge. But the one for me that works just as good as the Trace Rifle is Scatter Signal. Now, Scatter Signal with something like Slice, Control, Burst. You've obviously got Particle Reconstruction this season as well. And you can pretty much destroy things with Scatter Signal. Scatter Signal or Unsworn really work nice with this build. So does Barrow Dyad if you want to try an exotic. But Scatter Signal is absolutely fantastic this season. It is so, so good. And you've got the Particle Reconstruction as an extra damage. Or if you go with a Trace Rifle, you've got Unsworn, which you can take advantage of the harsh refraction. So both seasonal artifact perks are going to buff both of these weapons, whichever one you go for. You've got your Trace Rifle or your Fusion Rifle whichever one you want to run with. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I'm going to leave a dim link, like I said, in the video description, and a Mobalytics link as well. I hope you found this video helpful, very, very fun. Loads of survivability, very good in GMs as well. Thanks for watching, have a great day.